Hi, it's Pamela. In this tutorial, we're going to go over using Doodly whiteboard videos in the courtroom.
Hey, and welcome to the official Doodly YouTube channel. If you enjoy our content, please click the like and subscribe button below. Now let's get straight to the video.
When it comes to persuading a jury, there are many tried and true strategies. One of the more recent trends in courtroom presentations is to use whiteboard videos. These videos can be used for any type of case, but they work particularly well in personal injury cases where you want to show the judge or jury how something happened. So we are going to start with a script for a personal injury case. Let me show it to you. Now, our fictional case, we've got the attorney and he's going to go over all of this stuff here. He's only going to use Doodly for these first two scenes here. The rest he'll have some other visual aids that he'll use, some photos, and then he'll just stand there and talk to them. But he wants to show the problem with the intersection using Doodly. So that's what we're going to do. So our first scene, we want to have George and Carrie happily driving along. And then our second scene, we want to show the intersection. We want to show how it's dangerous. There's a curve just before the intersection, and there are no warning signs that a traffic light is coming up. So let's go ahead and get started. Now I know we have a scene here that's already pre-built of a couple driving a car. Let's go ahead and start with that. We could add some text if we'd like. Let's use this one. They're just talking happily and they're in love, so maybe it's date night. Now I am not going to have all this stuff draw on. So I've selected the pre-built scene items and I'm going to click the gear icon. And where it says draw 3 seconds, I'm going to turn this to none. And that way we don't need to watch while the hand draws all of the seats and windows and steering wheels and whatnot. We're just going to have the hand draw on George and Carrie on their way to the movies and then this little love talk there. And I think that will be fine for this scene. Now we're here at the main event where the attorney wants to illustrate the intersection and what happened. So I have gone ahead and I created some diagrams of the accident scene. And I would expect the attorney to do a little bit better job than I did, but I think you'll get the idea of what I'm going for here. So I'm going to click on props, the blue plus sign, and I'm going to drag and drop my 3 images in. And click continue. Now let's go ahead and drag them into our scene here. Now what I want to do is I want to select them all together to resize them. That way they resize at the same level, I guess you would say, so that the arrows are going to fit perfectly. Okay, so what we have here is the intersection in question with the curvy road heading in. Green is going to be our couple that are driving to the movies, and red is going to be our red light running guy. This is his anticipated area of travel. So we do need to do some drawing of these paths, okay? So let's go to the first one, click the pencil icon, and we're going to pretend that the attorney is drawing these, right? So let's start here and draw this intersection. Now I've got a few points here. I want to go ahead and make this larger so that we can, 1, see it, and 2, just make it a little easier to do. So you just kind of want to think about how you would be drawing this if you were the person hand drawing this item. And these are really easy because they're not very precise. I don't need to be precise, so I can just whip right through here. Okay, so the first one's done. Now let's do our arrows. Again, select the item, click the pencil icon, and draw your path. These are going to be easy. So let's go ahead and preview this scene real quick so you can see what it's looking like. Now what else do we need? We need some traffic lights. So I'm going to go to either Pixabay or FreePic or one of those places and find some graphics to use here. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video. Okay, I'm back. Let's go ahead and import the traffic lights that I found. Found these over on FreePic. Now he's going to want to show that our couple had the green light. So we're just going to drag this in here. And then we want this to indicate that this guy had the red light. Let's have this not draw on after all, okay? This is going to be pretty quick. Then they were heading this way. We want the green light after the arrow. No, before the arrow. Green light, and then the arrow comes, and this is the way they're coming. And then we want the red light to appear. And then have the guy come here, and then we'll show a car crash here. 3 seconds is going to be too long for this light to be drawn on. I'm going to go 1 second on each of these, and I'm going to have them fade on rather than be drawn on. So I'm going to click this little pencil icon, reveal mode, fade, save and return. I'm going to do the same for this one. Now let's go ahead and add our little voiceover here for these two scenes, keeping in mind that he's going to continue on with some real life photos and actual presentation in the courtroom. So we're just working on just this little tiny portion of Doodly that he's going to show on a big television monitor in the courtroom. Later I'm going to delete this, but for now I'm going to use this as a cheat sheet, a teleprompter so to speak, so that I know what to say while I'm recording it. So I'm going to put my playhead at the beginning, and I want to look down here at the microphone tab. See this little plus sign? That's how I'm going to add my voiceover. So I'm going to click it. It's going to give me a red button. When I'm ready, I'm going to push the red button and I'm going to begin speaking. George and Carrie were on their way to the movies when they got into an accident. The other driver was speeding and he didn't stop at a red light, and then he careened into George's car. While the other driver was clearly in the wrong, the intersection is very dangerous, and the county is also at fault for not taking action to prevent such accidents from happening. For example, there's a curve just before the intersection and no warning lights that a traffic light is coming up. Now, I want scene 1, where they're driving the car, to coincide with this portion here where I said George and Carrie are on their way to the movies. And then I had that slight pause, so that's where I know my break is. Let's take a look. It looks like we need to add about 2 seconds to this scene. Currently, the only thing I have drawing on is the words and the little heart. And I think that's probably fine. So let's just add some time at the end. And that's going to be just about right. Move this over just a touch. And then we're going to have where we're talking about all this other stuff. We're going to talk about the accident scene, and then we're going to talk about this curve here. And so I am going to want to add some information about that. So let's go ahead and find a nice arrow. And now we need a giant X. Now we could do a little shortcut here. Let's use Bangers. This is a font. And we're just going to make a giant X with it. It's going to be a nice bold X. And then we're going to change its color to red. And then we need to think about if we want to show a crashed car. So let's do that, and this will... Okay, so we have the scene laid out. The arrangement needs to be fine-tuned now. Okay, we're just about there. Let's take a quick preview and we'll be done. George and Carrie were on their way to the movies when they got into an accident. The other driver was speeding and he didn't stop at a red light, and then he careened into George's car. While the other driver was clearly in the wrong, the intersection is very dangerous, and the county is also at fault for not taking action to prevent such accidents from happening. For example, there's a curve just before the intersection and no warning lights that a traffic light is coming up. And that's an idea on how you could use Doodly in the courtroom. Thanks for watching! Hi, it's Pamela. In this tutorial, we're going to create a whiteboard video that reveals a New Year's resolution.
Hey, and welcome to the official Doodly YouTube channel. If you enjoy our content, please click the like and subscribe button below. Now let's get straight to the video.
Can businesses make New Year's resolutions? Of course they can. The process of creating a New Year's resolution is similar to any other goal-setting activity that you might do for your business. Well, since it's New Year's, we're going to frame it as a New Year's resolution. In today's example, we're going to create a video that reveals a New Year's resolution for Ed's Auto, which is a small, fictional, and local car repair shop. Ed wants to improve customer retention and customer service in the new year, but he wants his message to be meaningful. So let's go with something like this. We can repair anything, but we'll never replace you. In 2022, we resolved to make sure every customer feels like family. This is a resolution that will make Ed's Auto employees happy, and it will also delight his customers. It makes an emotional connection without getting too mushy, but it still provides that optimistic tone that you want to convey at New Year's. So let's go ahead and get started, okay? The first thing we need is a background. So we said it's an auto shop, and I believe that Doodly has an auto body shop. Yes, it does. So we are going to take that and use that as our background. And because it's a background, I don't need it to be terribly prominent, so I'm going to turn its opacity down to say 70%. So I did that by clicking the gear icon and then adjusting opacity. Now we need a mechanic. And we have several, kind of like this one. And let's flip him over. And then we need a message, right? It's Happy New Year's. So I have found over on freepik.com a 2022 Happy New Year graphic. And here it is. So I'm going to drag that in and resize it. Now I did cut out some of the white. As you can see, the top part of the image is transparent, and I cut that out in another program, graphics design program. And I left the bottom portion white. So I have transparency on the top and then this white bar. And what I thought I would do is then type in my message here in this white. And I think that'll look pretty nice. Now we need to type in his message. So we're going to go to font, and I think just kind of a standard font would be appropriate here. Okay, so now we just need to arrange this. Okay, so now that we have all of our elements in place, let's do a little fine tuning. The auto body shop, I would like it to come on very quickly. So let's say 1 second. And our mechanic, he can come on, let's say 2 seconds. So that gives us 3 seconds to get the lay of the land. And then we're going to bring in our graphic. Okay, so now let's click on our Happy New Year graphic and click the pencil icon. And I'm just going to have it fade on. We could draw these lines on if we wanted. It'd be pretty simple to do, but we're going to fade it on today. Save and return. And then we want our text to come on. I think 1 second. No, I think 1.5 seconds was probably fine. Let's give a little delay between the two. Click Scene Settings. At the end of the scene, let's add 7 seconds, because this is just going to be a one scene video here. That just gives it a little time at the end for the message to stay on screen. Okay, and that looks pretty nice. Let's go ahead and go to our Sounds tab, and we can add some music. I'm just going to take this one, and I am going to shrink this down to size. Okay, so you take your mouse, and you get the double-headed arrow, and you just drag it over. So now it's the exact length that I need. Now this music is obviously building up here, and I actually need it to fade out because we're at the end. So if I right click, I can choose fade out, and I can stretch it. So it's a slow fade. And I think that will be just fine. And let's add a quick voiceover. We're just gonna say Happy New Year from Ed's Auto Body Shop, okay? But before I do that, I'm gonna turn this audio down a little on the music because it's gonna come in really loud. So I click the speaker icon, and I'm gonna go down to like 12% here, okay? Now I'm ready to add my voiceover track. So I'm gonna go over here to the beginning where I have this microphone track is where I'm gonna do it. So I click plus. When I'm ready to speak, I click the red microphone button. Here I go. Happy New Year from all of us at Ed's Body Shop. And I think that will be lovely. So let's go ahead and export it, and then we'll be done. Go to export, choose your resolution. I'm gonna do 1080. And then of course your location where you want it to be saved. Once you're happy with your settings, go ahead and click continue, and it'll export. Happy New Year from all of us at Ed's Body Shop. And that's the basics of creating a business New Year's resolution using Doodly. Thanks for watching. Hi, it's Pamela. In this tutorial, we're going to do a quick review of the product promo template.
Hey, and welcome to the official Doodly YouTube channel. If you enjoy our content, please click the like and subscribe button below. Now let's get straight to the video.
You'll see here I'm in the Templates tab, and I've scrolled down to Product Promo. You'll see we have a female and a male version. If you'd like to take a look at them, you just click the little preview button and you'll see what it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and choose the female version. You just click on it and you're going to give it a name. Click Create. And Doodly brings the entire project into your canvas here. You have everything. You've got all of the individual scenes, the camera movements, a soundtrack, and if you click Preview, you'll see these handy dandy subtitles down here. Now, of course, you can turn subtitles off and you can also edit them. The purpose of these subtitles at this point is to kind of prompt you as you developed your script. So let's go ahead and choose a scene and go into Scene Settings. And you'll see that we can edit these subtitles. So it's kind of like a template for your script. So frustrated by the problem your product solves. So you're gonna go ahead and put what that problem is. So frustrated by a confusing family schedule. We'll say we're making a family planner organizer type product, okay? So that's what I'm going with. And you click Apply. And you would do that for every scene. So you'd go scene by scene and do that. You'd also update your titles that are actually on the screen. So we'll do that here. It's a little different than what I wrote, but that's okay. And of course, you can edit your characters. This one's titled the Product Promo Female version. If we didn't want this character and say we wanted it to be a dad, that's fine. We could change her easily enough. So all you would do is go over to your Characters tab and find a new character. So let's say it's Andrew and we want him looking kind of confused here. So we're going to do this. We're just going to drag him and replace him, or replace her, I should say. He's a little small, so I'm going to go ahead and resize him. And now that we know that Andrew is going to be our main character, we would go through and replace this woman with Andrew in all of the scenes. I'm going to go ahead and undo this. And I'm just going to go with her as being my main character at this point. Now, as you go through the scenes, you're going to continue updating both your on-screen titles and your subtitles, which are in your scene settings. So let's give it a name. And now we need to add our product image. So you go over to props and you can either upload your product, which you'll probably want to do, or if you already have it in your system, you can just go search for it. Let's go ahead and place it in your scene. We're going to want to delete our text. That was just to tell us what to do. And resize it as needed and make whatever timing adjustments you feel are necessary. Now, if it's an uploaded image, you can click your pencil icon and you'll see I have already done the drawing paths on here and I like that effect, so I'm going to keep that. Your next scene in this example has that same product image inside. So the easiest thing to do is to go back to your original one and copy and paste it. That way the size and position are going to be perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and delete the little placeholder and then I'm going to paste in my item. Now, because I did just paste this in, it's at the bottom and I'm going to need to put it up top here. So it's behind my arrows. And I'm also going to change the duration to 0 because it's already been drawn on, so we don't want it to draw on again. Again, you're going to update your text as needed. For introducing, this is identical to this one, so I'm just going to copy and paste it. Saves me a little typing and it ensures that the location is in the exact same spot. And once again, I am going to move it up to the top because I want it to be the first thing that appears. And again, it does not need to be redrawn, so I'm going to turn it to 0. Here's another product image to replace. In this case, I'm just going to drag it. And again, 0. You'll also want to update your website. You'll see here also that we have a soundtrack, and it should be turned down already. Let's see. Yes, it's at 13%. So that is fine, especially for the voiceover. So speaking of the voiceover, that's what we're going to do next. What you're going to do is you're going to follow those subtitles as they appear on screen. Now, obviously, I haven't gone and updated all of them, so I'm not going to do the full thing. I just want to show you the process, okay? So you go down here where you see the microphone, and there's a little plus sign. And when you click it, you get another microphone, and it's red, and that's what you're going to push to start recording. So I'm going to do, the first 10 seconds or so, and then we'll be done. Frustrated by a confusing family schedule? Having a hard time finding answers? Tired of products that don't live up to their promise? And then when you're done, you click that red button again, and you have your audio track right here. As I've shown you before, you can hover over the edge and you get this double-sided arrow, and you can just fine-tune it if you'd like. And that does give you a little bit of flexibility when you trim off this dead space to move your audio. So say I wanted to start a little bit earlier, you can do that. Before we end, I did want to show you there are some camera movements. And if you like the way that they are set, you can just leave them. Or if you want to make some adjustments, you can certainly do that. You can even delete them completely by hovering over them and clicking the X button. So let's take a look by going into this show preview section. This gives us a little mini viewer, and you can control what you're looking at by dragging your playhead. So here's our first camera movement, and it's going to zoom into these words. And then the second camera movement isn't a movement at all. What it is it's just putting it back into full screen. So I'm fine with that, so I'm going to leave those. Let's see what this other camera movement is doing. So let's go over here, click to get our playhead, and it was zoomed in and now it's zooming out. And it does look like some of our timing has changed its position. So we want to fine tune that. So whenever you add time, the camera movement isn't moved accordingly. And I'm going to show you that just real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. So let's make sure we're clicked on the scene just before that camera movement. Now click scene settings, and we're going to add 1 second to the end. And you're going to watch down here where the camera movement is. It's just kind of right in front of that scene. Watch what happens when I change it. See, the camera movement did not move with that change. So it's just going to look weird. So if we do our playhead here, all of a sudden it's up close on this scene, and then this scene's going to swipe, and then we have the second scene. What we actually want is for this camera movement to happen for this scene only. We don't want it to start in this scene. So all you have to do is just drag it over to the very beginning of your new scene. So now what happens is you've got your preceding scene full screen. It switches to our new scene, and this scene is zoomed in, and the camera pulls out to eventually reveal the full thing. And that looks fine. Now that we have added that extra second, you notice our music doesn't end at the end of the video. So all I need to do here is I'm just going to slide it over. And that's it. There you have it. That's the basics of how you can work with this product promo template to make it your own. Thanks for watching! Hi, it's Pamela. In this tutorial, we're going to go over how to share your company's mission and vision statements using a Doodly whiteboard video.
Hey, and welcome to the official Doodly YouTube channel. If you enjoy our content, please click the like and subscribe button below. Now let's get straight to the video.
You spent a lot of time creating your mission and vision statements, so why not share these important messages with your audience using a Doodly whiteboard video? You can share the video on social media, or as we're going to do today, you could include it into a PowerPoint presentation. So we're going to use our favorite fictional company, Acme Widgets, and create our video. You'll see here I have a mission statement and a vision statement for Acme Widgets, and we're going to use that for the basis of our video. I want to take you into PowerPoint real quick, and you'll see here that I have a presentation for Acme Widgets, and it's just a basic template here that I use to create it. And what I want to do at the very end, before we say thank you, I want to add just a little blurb about our mission and our vision. And I think that'll be a nice way to end the presentation. So the first thing I want to do is I want to get one of these background slides, because I'm going to use that for the background of our video so that it matches. So if I go over to Home and I click on New Slide, I can get just a generic slide here, and I can go ahead and delete our text. And this is what I want to use for the background of my video. So I'm going to go over to my File menu. You can't see it, but File, Export, and then over here, File Format, I'm going to choose PNG, and I'm going to save the current slide only. And I want it to be the same dimension, 1920 by 1080. And let's go back into Doodly. Now, of course, we could add it as a prop and put it in the background that way, but what I'd like to do today is go into the settings over here, and we're going to set it as the background for the entire video. So click Custom, then Custom Image, Browse File, and let's go ahead and put that in. Now we need to make sure it's full screen, so we just resize this little guideline. While we're at it, we can change the hand style. I like this hand style fine, but I am going to do a little voiceover, so if we can find one that's a little more feminine to match who I am, would be good. We'll use this one. Now, we want the font to match as well. So if we go back into PowerPoint and we check the font, we can just click on it and go up here, and it's Roboto. We go to our font here, you notice that I already selected Roboto. So now let's get building. Now I would like Roboto regular. Now we just need to add our text. And I am going to fast forward while I do this part because it's a little boring to watch. You guys know how to deal with that at this point. And that looks good. I can duplicate this. Now we're in our second scene. And we're just going to change this to the appropriate text here, our vision. Now let's work on our characters. I liked Inu for this, and I like her pointing. So let's bring this one in. Let's flip her. Okay, so I like that scene just fine. Let's go over to our second one and get rid of this. We don't need all the branding on this video because it's in the PowerPoint. And we're going to do something similar with Baco here. I'm going to make him large. And we are going to add a speech bubble. And this time he's going to say this. Now let's get everything ordered just right, okay? So the first thing we want in this scene is we want our lady to come on. So she's going to be the first thing that draws on, and we'll do her for about 2 seconds. And then mission, and then let's get these in the right order. Acme, and this. Then this. Let's give a little bit of a pause in between. And they're going to need probably about 5 to 7 seconds each. Start with 5. We can adjust this later. And then at the end of the scene, we want a little time for people to be able to finish reading that. So let's say 2.5 seconds. Now the exit animation, I'd like it to swipe up. And I'll show you that in just a moment because the background will not move. It's just going to be everything else. It's just going to kind of clear away. And then we go over to our second one and we'll have Baco come on first. 2 seconds. And then his little speech bubble. And that's only going to be 1 second. And then his little blurb. And then our vision. We need to get these in the right order. Make sure. And again, let's have a little time between those 2 sentences. And give them, what did we say, 7 seconds? So I'm going to do the voiceover, and don't worry if it doesn't match what you see on the screen, okay? So let's go down here to the microphone. You scroll over to the beginning and you click the plus sign. And when you're ready to speak, you click this little red button. So I have my piece of paper right in front of me and I'm ready to go. Acme Widgets is committed to designing and manufacturing innovation-driven, high-quality widgets at competitive prices. We strive to provide the best experience in the widget industry so that customers are 100% satisfied. So let's go ahead and go into this show preview mode. And we're going to make some adjustments. I'm going to use my little double-sided arrow here just to slide the dead space on both ends. Okay, so I already know that I started before the text started, so I need to move this down a bit. We'll find out exactly where. So we want right there, when the hand starts drawing Acme, we want my voice to say Acme. So we're just going to slide that down so that it starts together. And then let's see what we need to do. Go ahead and hit play. Acme Widgets is committed to designing and manufacturing innovation-driven, high-quality widgets at competitive prices. Okay, so the text itself. So let's go ahead and click on the scene so that we're controlling it. This text right here needs to be just a little bit slower, okay? So let's try it at 6 seconds. And that should be okay. Let's just see if it ends where it needs to. Quality widgets at competitive prices. We strive to provide the best experience in the widget industry so that customers are 100% satisfied. Okay, so that was good. And then now we need to add a little bit of time before that comes on. So let's go to this one. We strive to provide the best experience. We can either make this slightly longer or add the pause. I think I'm going to make this slightly longer. Let's just back up. Just a half a second might be all we need. Let's see. The best experience in the widget industry so that customers are 100% satisfied. Being environmental. Yes, that's fine. I am going to add half a second of a delay here on this third one so that being environmentally friendly starts when my voice starts. So let's see. 100% satisfied. Being environmentally friendly runs in our DNA, so all of our products, and that's pretty good. We're going to slow this down just a touch as well, and we should be good. Let's see. Satisfied. Being environmentally friendly runs in our DNA, so all of our products are made from and packaged in recycled or plant-based. It could actually be a little bit longer. Let's try that. Environmentally friendly runs in our DNA, so all of our products are made from and packaged in recycled or plant-based materials. Now here's trying to create a better world is a lofty goal, but it is our goal. I want to actually take this whole blurb right here, this whole section, and cut it from the first one, okay? And you might be going, how are you going to do that? So to do that, we are going to right-click and choose duplicate. And now we have an exact copy. Okay, so here's my exact copy, and I'm just going to slide it on top here, just for the time being, and make them match up loosely. Okay, so now I have 2 tracks. I'm going to slide the bottom one over to this point. So here's my first scene's audio. This is all about the mission statement, and I like that just fine where it is. And I have that scene right here, you know, that audio twice, right? So I'm going to get rid of it on this track. So now, what do you know? I have 2 individual tracks. And now I can position this one wherever I want. So let's see if that's enough space for our guy to draw on. So she goes away. Here he comes. I'm not talking yet. He's going to have his blurb. And then I start talking, so it's too soon. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to move that down to at least there. The hand does need to write, so let's let it say our vision. And then here. And that is going to be just right. So all we need to do is export the video and import it into PowerPoint. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I think 720 will be about right. Okay, our video should be exported. So what we want to do is go over to Insert, Video, Movie from File, and then you just browse over to wherever it is that you exported it. And here it is. If we click the play button, you'll see that our video is right here, just as expected. Acme Widgets is committed to designing and manufacturing, and it looks like it is part of our video. It matches all of the branding and everything. And if you recall, we have this handy dandy little transition. So let's go back to transition and we can preview it. And then it'll come on and it'll play when you're doing your presentation. Now, if you go to playback, I would go ahead and set it up to start either automatically or when clicked on. It's up to you. I'd rather have it just come on automatically and not have to worry about it. So that's what I'm going to set it to do. And there you have it. That's how you can use your mission and vision statements and incorporate them as a Doodly video into your PowerPoint presentations. Thanks for watching. Hi, it's Pamela. In this tutorial, we're going to create a nonprofit pitch in Doodly.
Hey, and welcome to the official Doodly YouTube channel. If you enjoy our content, please click the like and subscribe button below. Now let's get straight to the video.
Today we're going to use Doodly to create a nonprofit pitch, and we're going to follow 3 basic steps. The first one is we want to tell them what it is that we do. The second step is to tell them what it is that you need. And then the third step is to tell them how they can donate. Now, before we get started in building the graphics, I want to lay down the audio tracks. So I have 3 sections. So I'm going to do them one at a time. And here's how. Go down to the audio track, click the plus sign. When I'm ready to speak, I click the red button. And I'm just going to do step 1, and then I'm going to stop it. And then I'm going to start over and do step 2, and then I'm going to stop it. And then I'm going to start and do step 3, and I'm going to stop it. That way I'll have 3 individual tracks that I can work with. Acme Clean Water for All is a nonprofit organization founded in 2016 with the goal to provide clean and safe drinking water to people in need. Okay, so that's my first one. Okay, so I now have 3 individual voiceovers, and that's for my 3 scenes, and it just gives me a little bit of flexibility by doing them separately like this. See how I can kind of trim this dead air and slide them around a little, and you'll see that come into play as we build the video. I do like this character. Maybe he'll be our main character. We'll see. Earlier I created a little logo for this, so I'm going to go ahead and go to props, click the blue plus sign, and I'm going to find that graphic. Okay, so here's our logo. Now, by default, Doodly will scribble this on unless we change it. So let's click the pencil icon, and let's create some drawing paths. And we start drawing our little paths. Little points on each line, okay? Now that's way too skinny, so you take the path size and you fatten it up, okay? So you can go like that. And if you look in that little box, you'll see that it's being drawn on wherever I am creating these paths. And we're done. Okay, so the first thing we say is Acme Clean Water for All, so the logo should be the first thing. You'll notice that this wave scribbled on, and we want to change that as well. So click the pencil icon. Now in this case, I'm not going to do drawing paths for this entire thing. Instead, I'm going to choose the fade option. So now we need our next section. So I'm moving my audio track down. Now we're going to add a blank spot. So we're on step 2. Step 1, we told them what we do. And now we want to tell them what we need. I have a little map of the Dominican Republic. I think I would actually like this to be my background image. So I'm going to go ahead and place it here and do some resizing. And it needs to be behind our map. So let's put a 0 duration here. When this scene swipes away, this will already be in place. And then we'll have our Dominican Republic fade on. So just like we did earlier. Go to text. Let's use this one. And that'll look good. And then over here, let's go back to props and let's add our logo onto these water filters. Let's take a quick preview. Begun our work by building sustainable water systems in the Dominican Republic that will provide clean drinking water to more than 100,000 people. Schools are in dire need of clean drinking water. We need to raise $150,000. Okay, so we need to do a few adjustments here. I don't like it erasing, so I'm going to go to settings and I'm going to turn erase mode off. And then I noticed that these came in out of order. So this was my second one. That's my first, so that should be fine. And they don't need to be 3 seconds long. on the drawings. So let's go ahead and try 1 second. I'm gonna do a little bit more fine tuning. So now let's add a new scene. Let's go ahead and find a school. And this should be fine. And we need water yet again. So let's go back and get that nice wave that we had earlier. I'm just gonna go ahead and copy and then paste. I want to copy and paste the water filtration system background. Okay, so all of these images, I just copied them, go over here, Control V, and paste. Now, they are grouped together, so I can shrink them down together, and I think something like that will be good. See if we can find a border to go around that. And then how about an arrow? Okay, so we need to raise $150,000 for what? For this, the water filtration system. And then we talk about a corporate donation. Now, while this may look a little tiny, remember we're going to be using our camera movement to zoom in on this. So this is step 3, where we tell them how they can donate. And that's looking pretty good. So let's do one more scene. And now we need to put that in front of the other, okay? Let's find a globe. Let's see what else we might have as far as water. It'd be great if we had some water bottles. Yes, we do. Okay, so the timing is going to be just fine. We need to change this from clean drinking water to safe drinking water. And then it transitions right over to our how to donate slide. And we'll probably want to add some time at the end, just so it's on there long enough for them to jot this down. And we are almost done. I think a music track would be nice. So let's go over to sounds, categories, music, and let's choose a new Hope. That's a nice one. And let's just slide it into place. Go to the speaker icon and turn the volume way down. Right click, choose fade out. Take this triangle and stretch it out so it's a nice slow fade. And then finally, the last thing that we want to do is do our camera movement. If you recall on this scene here, I said we would zoom in on this little rectangle. So what we want to do is we're on the scene. Now if you go up here and right click, add panning and zooming, and you get this little effects tool. Let's make it a little longer and then double click on it. And you have your start and your end screen. So we are starting full screen, and then we want to end on this little rectangle. So what we want to do is frame it with this little camera viewfinder, and then something like that would be pretty good. We can go even a little tighter if we wanted. And then our next scene is going to start, and notice how it's still zoomed in. So what we want to do is click this once again, move our effect down to the very beginning of this next scene, go ahead and click in, and we just want to reset this basically. So unlock start and make it full screen, okay? And then same with end, it needs to be full screen. So basically we're just telling Doodly, go back to the way you were. Let's take one final look and then we'll be done. Acme Clean Water for All is a nonprofit organization founded in 2016 with the goal to provide clean and safe drinking water to people in need. We've begun our work by building sustainable water systems in the Dominican Republic that will provide clean drinking water to more than 100,000 people. Schools are in dire need of clean drinking water. We need to raise $150,000 to fund a UV water treatment station for the Acme Elementary School. Your corporate donation of $10,000 will be used to help fund this system. The majority of the world lacks access to safe drinking water. All donations are used to provide clean drinking water in areas of need and may be tax deductible. Donate online at www.acwfa.org. And that's the basics of using Doodly to create a nonprofit pitch video. Thanks for watching! Hi, it's Pamela. In this tutorial, we're going to create a real estate TikTok video using Doodly.
Hey, and welcome to the official Doodly YouTube channel. If you enjoy our content, please click the like and subscribe button below. Now let's get straight to the video.
Traditional real estate videos have their place, but what about when you want to reach a younger, more engaged audience? TikTok could be the answer, and yes, you could use Doodly to create the TikTok video. As you probably know, TikTok's a social media app where users can share short videos of themselves. It's increasingly popular with millennials, making it the perfect platform for reaching potential first-time homebuyers. With a TikTok video, there's no telling what you'll see next. In today's example, we're going to create a short video for a lead magnet. Ultimately, we want them to download the lead magnet in exchange for an email address, right? So that we can further target them away from the TikTok platform. I have a very short, simple script that we're going to use. I have a lead magnet cover image made, and all we need to do is create our Doodly video. Now, Doodly is a vertical format, so when we go over to My Videos and create a new video, we're going to give it a name, Real Estate TikTok. And what we want to do is we want to go over to Custom. And this allows you to change the aspect ratio. We're going to remove this little check mark here, and then we're going to type in 1080 for the width and 1920 for the height. Now we have a vertical whiteboard video. Now, I told you that I have a cover image for this lead magnet, so that's the first thing I'm going to bring in. So I've got props, blue plus sign, and I'm going to just drag and drop my file into place. Okay, so this is what I want them to download. Now on its own, it's a little dull, so let's add some characters and some text. Like Instagram, TikTok doesn't let you just link in your post, but you can put a link in your bio and tell people to go there. So that's what we're going to do in this example. And I think let's change the color. Now I want this yellow to stand out a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and hit copy, Control C, and then paste, Control V, and on the background one, I'm going to change that back to black or gray. I think maybe a gray shadow. Now I have a little drop shadow effect. Now I would love for this background to have a little something more interesting back there. And I have some backgrounds that I had uploaded a long time ago that might be fun to use. Let's try this watercolor one. And we're going to send it to the back. Make it large. Now I can move it around. And then let's change the opacity on this. Let's try 50%. And then let's go back to full screen here. I think we can go even lighter. Let's try 20. Yeah, that just gives it a little splash of color. And I think the layout now is fine. And we just want to make sure everything comes on in a specific order. So we're going to start with the background already on. And then we're going to say, attention first-time buyers first. We're going to bring in the book. I'm going to click this little pencil icon on the book. Rather than having it scribble on, we're going to change the reveal mode to fade. Now it's going to fade on, and we're going to make it a very fast fade. You know, we don't have a lot of time here. So I'll say a 1 second fade. And then we will draw the characters on. But I think I'm going to say, yes, you can afford to buy a home first. And then draw the characters on. And then link to bio. This first one's going to come on super fast, and then the second one can draw on a little slower. Let's take a quick preview. I'm going to turn off all that erasing. Go to settings, erase mode off. And then let's take a look at the hand. Let's go for a cartoon hand. What we're trying to do is just capture some attention, okay? So that's why we're gonna go with a cartoon hand. And let's try this guy. And that's looking pretty good. I think we will do a quick little voiceover. Just make it more personal. So we go down here to the microphone, click the plus sign. Now when I'm ready, I'm going to click the red microphone button and begin speaking. Now don't worry if the timing doesn't match my voice. I can go back and change that. Not a big deal. Here we go. Hey, first-time home buyers! Buying a home can be a little tricky, but with our helpful guide, you can avoid the top 10 mistakes that people make. Check the link in our bio to download this free guide now. Okay, so I'm just going to make a few little adjustments. I always like to trim that beginning and then move this down so I don't have that long pause at the beginning. You can do the same at the end. We can make this have a slight delay before it comes on. And then let's do another delay before that comes on. We can make them draw slightly slower. And then here at the end, let's add some time at the end of the scene. Let's go for 4 seconds. Click apply. And that should be good. Let's take a quick look. Hey, first-time home buyers! Buying a home can be a little tricky, but with our helpful guide, you can avoid the top 10 mistakes that people make. Check the link in our bio to download this free guide now. And I like that just fine. So now we just need to export it and then import it into TikTok. You see the resolution is our vertical format. Okay, my video has exported. I'm in TikTok. I am on my desktop, and I'm going to go ahead and click the upload button. And now I can simply just drag and drop my video to TikTok. We can give it a caption. And that looks pretty good. Hey, first-time home buyers! Buying a home can be a little tricky, but with our helpful guide, you can avoid the top 10 mistakes that people make. Check the link in our bio to download this free guide now. And there you have it, how to create a real estate video for TikTok. Thanks for watching!